let me finish with this image. Once again, this is an oil painting that is turned to grayscale. This is an oil sketch I did for my head painting class some time back, but I want to point out something. As we're talking about edges, I guess we've got to talk about the background, because where that form meets the background is the definition of these edges. And so we have to have a discussion about what kinds of values and what we can do in the background to create the appropriate edges for the form. What is the answer to that question? What can or should you do in the background against that form? The answer is anything and everything. Whatever it takes to get that form to read the way you want and you need it to read. The model has a dark beard, and I want that dark beard to read. And so put a light tone behind it to help me keep that silhouette and have it feel dark. But I want that light to show up. I want the brightness of the light hitting that skin to feel luminous. So I put a dark next to it to get that read. Now I want that forehead, it falls back here, it falls back into shadow, and I want to give us that feel of shadow. Now I switch to a light to get that sense of shadow. But I don't want it to feel cut out. I don't want a razor sharp edge all the way around. I want that furthest part from us, that furthest distance, to feel like it connects to the background. That lost edge gives us that depth cue, that connecting to the background, fading away into the distance. But now I need this big shadow mass to read a shadow. So I switch once again to light. And down here in the corner, I don't want too much information down there, because the eye really wants to be here and enjoy the rendering and the importance of this area without being unconsciously drugged to an area with a lot of contrast but no payoff. So once again, I'm going to a darker value to remove contrast from this area. Let's take a look then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I flip-flopped values 6 times around that head and shoulders to get the read that I wanted. So that's why I say you can and should do anything and everything. It's frustrating when students mindlessly copy whatever backdrop or whatever background just happened to be behind your subject. Now, if the background looked great with your subject, then by all means go with it. But at the times and places where it doesn't, which is frankly most of the time, you are once again the designer, the captain of the ship. If you don't make the decision, then you fall to happenstance. And I'm sorry, but happenstance is not smarter than you are. You have got to make that decision. We live in the age of quick, point and shoot, crystal clear digital photography. Rendering your subject mindlessly, well, it might be a fine exercise in rendering, but it doesn't go much past that, because your digital camera can get that likeness clearer and faster than you can. But as the artist, you can do something that has a greater sensibility to it. Make those decisions. Use edges to create a sense of depth and to create emphasis where you want to draw the eye and give attention to on your subject, and where you want to diminish or lose, so that you have active versus passive, something being made special by being next to something that is less important. Your homework, to do exactly that. I want you to design edges this week as you do full value portrait studies. And still, we're sticking with a single light source. So I want you to really make sure wherever you go, whoever you draw, make sure you have a bright single point light source.
All right, my friends, so if that seemed long, we are just getting started. No, that's the bulk of the lesson, but of course, I've got the demonstration portion for you here so that we can put those ideas directly into practice. Take a break, take a little rest, come back fresh. I know I need to do the same. I'll be with you in a moment in the demo.